Welcome back to In the Know Crypto. I'm your host, Clarence Thomas, and you know what? I am pretty freaking happy. We're going to go over some things. There's some very good news, and out of this Ukraine-Russian thing, it was weighing on my heart very heavily yesterday because in the year 2020, I lived in Eastern Europe, spent a lot of time around war. There's nothing glorious about war. People die, people go hungry, bad things happen. But I'm glad that there's one positive thing, and I'm really glad that it's one positive thing as it relates to crypto and the $4.1 million that's been already basically a day and a half into this conflict. That $4.1 million has already been funneled to the Ukrainian military via crypto. And so this is just yet one more shed of proof, a piece of evidence, if you will, that shows that, hey, this is not just something that criminals use, which has been the narrative for a very long time. I think we're getting past that. But it's something that criminals can use. Yes, it can be used for bad, just like many things can be used for good or bad. But it can be and is being used for good. And so now, before we jump onto that story and cover that, I also want to say the other piece why I'm feeling pretty good is that hey, Bitcoin took its little hit. It got as low as 34,500 yesterday morning, and I was pretty happy. My girlfriend told me that, hey, when it got low, I think she bought quite a bit of Bitcoin at about 35,000, so that made me feel really good. But it got down to 34,500. Once again, same bullshit. Crypto is going down. We're going to 20,000. It's proven it failed Basic Economics 101, and the same thing that happens every single time any event happens, and there's volatility in crypto. The same idiot messages come out. And it yet again, as always, the honey badger don't care. It's coming back. So, and I love this article from Time Magazine. Latest crypto news: Bitcoin and Ethereum sank, then rose after Russian invasion of Ukraine. So it basically goes on to cover what I just talked to you about. Got down below 35,000 and then came right back up. At the time of talking to you, it's 39,100. It was, as of a little bit ago, 39,600. So still needs to break that support level of 40,000, but it was already at this point prior to the invasion. So yes, there are some external circumstances that's got the price down from the all-time high of 69,000 in November to where we are now. So hey, I'll take this. I'll take this as a win, and I'm sure you will too. So if you're in crypto and you continue to hodl your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, etc., congratulations and hodl on. So this article: $4.1 million in cryptocurrency funneled to the Ukrainian military since Russian invasion. Again, I believe that this will increase. The initial report said that it was 400,000, which it was initially, and then that 10x'd. So really good. Now, a couple of things here to cover. It says donations being funneled to the Ukrainian army in cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin in the millions of dollars. Research showed that $4.1 million was raised. Now, also to point out, $3 million was donated from a single user. That also goes to show if this user went to a bank and said, hey, I want to wire this, they could. In my experience, I performed a lot of international transactions to banks in Brazil, Australia, Kuwait, parts of Europe, South Africa even. It's taken always at least a week for that transaction to occur through the SWIFT, which not so SWIFT system, to actually get to where it's going. So when you try to get money there fast, there's nothing will beat a peer-to-peer system that is censorship resistant, that is borderless, that cannot be stopped by anyone. And so Very, very, very good news. And it says on Thursday alone, one nonprofit received over 675,000 in Bitcoin. And then that number ballooned to 3.4 million, and then continued, of course, to 4.1 million. Now, there was one thing here that does state that, and this is Ukraine's own did this to themselves, but it says Ukrainian Minister of Defense has made it clear that it won't accept crypto donations directly. A statement on the government's website said that national legislation does not allow the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine to use other payment systems, web money, Bitcoin, PayPal, etc. That means that while the military welcomes donations for logistics and medical support, those contributions have to go through fiat channels. So that's their own doing. That means that it has to be transferred to a wallet or to an exchange, converted over to dollars. Sorry, not dollars. And I forget the local currency of Ukraine, or perhaps even euros, whatever, has to be converted and then deployed. I bet you that changes pretty freaking fast. Maybe not with Ukraine directly right now. I can guarantee that countries will implement processes and procedures for emergencies such as these to be able to receive crypto directly to a wallet of their choosing and to deploy that capital. So, but I thought this was really cool because yesterday I covered in detail what happened to the citizens in eastern Ukraine that they went to the ATM and they could get like $130 as opposed to the normal daily limit of $500. So they got their money sitting in banks, which is not really sitting in banks. The banks get rid of it and go deploy at least 95% of that because they don't want it either. The people need to get to their money. They can't get it, and now they're scrambling. That's horrible. And so I'm really, really glad that crypto is already playing a big role in this conflict, right? No matter, and I think most of the world is feeling for Ukraine, but really cool. Also moving forward to business or markets insider, Sam Bankman Fried, who is the CEO of the FTX Exchange, I think, well, he is the richest person in crypto. He's 29 years old, worth about $23 billion at the time we're recording right now. That could increase exponentially. But he has the FTX Exchange, which, by the way, I recently signed up for FTX. It is amazing. I'll be doing a deep dive on that specific exchange and the incredible things that this young man and his enormous team are doing. But they gave all their Ukrainian users $25 each, which I thought was really, really cool. Now, having said that, still, they would have to, currently, most of them would have to probably take that $25, convert that over, have that deposit to their bank, and so there still would be that jam. But we're so early in crypto adoption. There are companies such as Crypto.com, and there's another one. I have BitPay. I use BitPay. I have a credit card, a debit card, for BitPay, where I actually am able to spend my crypto. And so once we get further into development and it becomes very commonplace to have a credit card that accepts crypto, or that you can deposit crypto and spend that directly, or as things like the Lightning Network for Bitcoin get worked out, which I think so will come in the coming years, things like this, the banks will be totally cut out. And they will either have to accept crypto, which most are scrambling to do, like JP Morgan, etc., or actually scrambling to embrace crypto. For now, we still have to deal with this dinosaur fiat system. And so anyway, there was a little bit of a rant there, but I'm very, very happy for what's crypto is actually proving its use case. And so now I also wanted to show the other side of the coin from CNN Business that says, which is true, it's not a lie, financial sanctions are easier than ever for Russians to invade. True. Thank Bitcoin. They end on that. Of course it's true. Bitcoin and decentralized cryptos are apolitical. They don't care what country you're from, if you're left or right, or if you're a libertarian, or if it doesn't matter who you represent or where you're from. It's apolitical. It's a protocol that's peer-to-peer, that's censorship resistant, but it is also transparent. And so basically in this article, it goes on to say that, of course, it's very hard to not very hard, but it's Russia doesn't have to just say, okay, I'm cut off from the SWIFT system, so I can't transact. They can use Bitcoin and crypto to conduct transactions, right? But again, just like I said, it is apolitical. Now, one thing that they do go on to say here is, and which is very, very true, is that it's not a complete solution for the Russian oligarchs. He says, because Bitcoin and other cryptos can be traced on the blockchain. It's harder though not impossible to launder that. So the other thing is it is censorship resistant. It is immutable. Any transaction that's ever occurred on the Bitcoin network that's actually supports Bitcoin, the coins itself, it's there forever. It's fully transparent. It's fully open source. Anybody in the world can see it. So any decent forensics person that understands crypto can see where these transactions take place. And of course, the other thing is not only that would be for Russia, but that would be for the opposite party that's conducting the transaction with them, because Russia would have to say, hey, I know we're not supposed to be doing business. Do me this one favor. Square me away, right? Or however they would say that. Of course, they probably wouldn't say it in those words. But the other person would have to agree, and then they would know that, hey, yeah, we can do business. But, yes, the Bitcoin can be used to circumnavigate the sanctions. Went blank for a second. To circumnavigate the sanctions and circumnavigate the SWIFT system, but it can't be hidden. They can't do it in secret. It will be known. So if Russia says, yeah, well, we'll do this, and we won't tell anybody, that's not going to happen. You can't have both. They can do it and give the finger to the West and to NATO, etc. They can't hide it. So that's a very, very, very big difference. And as I'm glad at least CNN Business did point out here. Another thing, and this is a very, very similar article from Washington Post that says that within this, crypto is playing a very vital role on both sides of the house, and it's really at the forefront here. But the reason why, one interesting piece here that I found in this article as well that is very interesting to me, and I'll need to analyze some more. It says, both sides have deep roots in crypto. Chainalysis ranks Ukraine as the top European adopter of cryptocurrency and the fourth biggest in the world. So I think this is kind of interesting. I don't know how true this is, but Chainalysis, they're not a shady deal. I mean, the things I've seen that Chainalysis has published in their publications seem to be pretty accurate. So I have to look into this as Ukraine being the top adopter of cryptocurrency. But again, ladies and gentlemen, very, very good news. Very happy to see something positive. Not just a hey, way to get rich with crypto, which yes, I do pursue that, and I want the same for you. But you can do well and you can do good at the same time. And crypto is where we can marry those. You can do well, and while you're doing good for humanity. And so I think that's amazing. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for your time. Stay in the know. Have a great weekend. First off, enjoy your time with your family. Stay in the know and stay crypto. Later.